Okay, so after part 1 and part 2, I thought I was done with this build, but y'all requested I build the inside, and what can I say? I can't say no to you guys. So here is my design for the inside of the Cherry Blossum House. But before we get into that, please would you take a moment to subscribe, like, and let me know in the comments what else you would like me to do. So I'm starting with the floor, and for the majority of this main first floor, I'm going to be using cobbled deep slate. There will be a few places where I use cherry wood planks, and that's going to be the kitchen, the little like breakfast nook area, and then that left corner that's gonna have the stairway. But those are pretty like obvious, easy to mark out places. I'm also gonna do the ceiling with cherry wood planks, and that's also a very natural like floor ceiling level. It matches up with the doors. The only problem is on this left side there is a window there, but we'll fix that. I'm gonna start with the stairs just because that's easiest for me to visualize how the layout of the house is gonna work. On this far left wall, and then placing down cobbled deep slate and making sure to break the ceiling so that we have somewhere for our stairs to go. And then once I have that all marked out, I'm placing the stairs. And then now I'm marking out the walls for a lot of these other sections. So right behind the stairs, so like right between like the stairs and that window, we're gonna put a wall. And then we are going to put another wall kind of dividing out this like back door section. We're also gonna fill in some of these corners that were kind of left just from building the outside first. I'm also gonna put in some of these beams to mark where the kitchen's gonna go. So that right corner is gonna be the kitchen. The left corner is gonna be that stairway. We also have to make a few changes to the outside because when I originally made this, I was not intending on building the inside. So all I did was this back corner. I'm breaking those 3 quartz blocks in the far back corner. Then I'm just putting some slabs. And then in that far back corner, I'm actually putting a cherry wood like pillar beam. Fun fact, the original build also had a beam in this back corner, but I decided not to include it when I rebuilt it because I didn't realize how important that beam was gonna be. You can see the roof is still a bit like patchy, even though we fixed some of those corners, it still looks kind of patchy. So we're gonna take the kitchen, and in that little area we marked out, we're actually gonna bring the ceiling level down 1, and we're just gonna cover it all with cherry wood blocks so that all of those like exposed quartz blocks won't be an issue anymore. I'm also adding like a border with cherry wood all the way around the bottom edge of the wall. That corner is going to be covered up by a cabinet, so we don't have to fix that. I'm changing a few other things to the outside. These aren't really structural, like this doesn't change anything about the build. I just think it looks a bit better. Going back over my old builds and realizing there are a few places where I could have added a bit more contrast, and so I'm just adding this. It's totally not necessary. I just think it looks better. I'm filling in the ceiling so that it actually looks, you know, like ceiling and not like just a mix mash of all these different blocks. And because that window uses a slab on the outside, for me at least, I think it's totally fine to use a slab on the inside here. Moving back to the kitchen. First, this section here, the small section, I'm gonna put 2 upside down cherry wood stairs to be like a table, and then a shelf with cherry wood trapdoors. And then I'm gonna do a bit more covering up the corners with a little bit of quartz stairs, just so I don't forget. I'm finishing up this doorway, which is 2 upside down stairs, 2 blocks up, and then all the rest is just filled in with planks, and then trapdoors on the sides. And I'm just putting 4 furnaces on that side, then I'm putting 2 smokers, then I'm adding a crafting table, obviously, because you need one of those, and just a chest. Then I'm putting 4 barrels for some storage, and I'm doing 2 planks just to fill in that counter. I'm also gonna put some brewing stands on these 2 little shelves. Now I'm gonna cover these barrels just with some cherry wood trapdoors, just to make it look a bit nicer, and I'm gonna do the same thing on top of the furnaces. I'm also putting some shelves with spruce trapdoors and chains. Now I'm gonna finish off this wall here that we left blank on top of the furnaces with just trapdoors, upside down stairs, and I'm just using frog lights because in an ideal world you would use frog lights because I think they look the best, just the white, but you can really use any light source you want. It really doesn't matter because we're gonna be putting trapdoors on it anyways. So once I have that, I'm finishing up these walls near the back door. I'm just putting right side up cherry wood stairs and then 2 rows of cherry wood trapdoors. I'm actually just gonna build this cabinet while I think about about it, I'm just placing 3 chests, and I'm gonna use dark oak. I'm placing 2 doors in front, then I'm surrounding the whole thing in trapdoors. And there's my cabinet. Open it up and it works. It's perfectly functional. It just looks a bit nicer than a stack of chests. Now I'm gonna put another shelf just like I did in the kitchen with the spruce trapdoor and chains. Now I'm just finishing up that wall, filling it in with cherry wood planks and upside down stairs. And then at the top, I'm going to do the same thing I did above the kitchen with the frog lights and cover that up with trapdoors. And that looks much brighter. Moving on to this little breakfast nook. Okay, I'm starting with filling in the ceiling, which is actually gonna be cobbled deep slate because when we get to the second story, that area is gonna have a cobbled deep slate floor. Then I'm just putting quartz stairs, kind of just like rounded out. Then I'm putting just a little edge on it so it is its own separate room. And now for the breakfast nook, I'm making it out of warped wood because I think warped wood looks good with cherry. No, I actually, okay, here I placed the slabs wrong. They were right the first time, and then I second guessed myself and I moved them back. Then I'm putting these pressure plates just because I think they look cute as plates. Once I have that, and I didn't see, I guess, that I flipped down the trapdoors, I'm going to place a chain, and then I'm going to place a crimson fence and like a fence on all 4 sides to make a little chandelier. And I'm gonna place candles on top of that. I'm also just gonna put trapdoors in front of that moss just to make it look more like a wall. And then that room is basically finished. I'm just gonna go back and fix the chairs here in a second when I remember. Now I'm gonna move on to like the formal dining area. I'm replacing this course with some cherry wood planks just so it matches the rest of the wall. I'm starting by just making a little table over here with some spruce trapdoors. I'm also gonna make another shelf just like the ones I made in the kitchen because I think those shelves are really cute, and so I use them throughout this build. Now this little like weird corner that looks weird, I am filling in with barrels, and then I'm putting trapdoors in front of them just like we did in the kitchen. This section is actually 1-2 wide, so you see like there where the trapdoors end, that's where the wall is. I'm supposed to fill that in with cherry planks, but I forget. I don't do that until later when I've built the whole dining room 1 block off. So if you don't want to have to do what I did and move the entire dining room 1 block over, just make sure to fill that section in that I'm going to highlight while I edit with cherry wood planks first, so that the barrels are only 4 across, and the bookshelves. I'm placing the table, and how I'm doing that is I'm placing 4 cherry wood planks, and then I'm just placing upside down stairs all around it. Then the inside, I'm breaking out the middle. We don't need that. Don't need it. And I want it to look like table runners. You guys know table runners? And we're gonna make it out of moss, but I don't do that until later because for some reason I waited to do all the moss stuff till the end. Then I'm gonna make a table to cover up the furnaces with just upside down stairs and slabs. Easy money. Done. We're gonna take some of these cobbled deep slate blocks and we're gonna break them. We're placing them 1 block lower. Then we're taking the ceiling and we're breaking that too. All the ceiling above the blocks that you broke, just break that too. You don't need it. Then we're gonna replace that with cherry slabs. And once you have this, you're going to take cherry trap doors and put them around the outside of this like hole you made in the ceiling. So you're gonna put them all around the outside of this hole you made in the ceiling. And then in the hole in the ceiling, in the slabs, you're gonna waterlog the slabs with water. So then it makes a cool water wall. Literally, you can't even tell from the top that there's water flowing down, but it's super cool. And then I'm going to fill this little gap in under the stairs. I'm just going to put a bookshelf there. So I'm starting by putting a cherry wood pillar on the outsides, and then I'm just filling in the center with chiseled bookshelves. And then I'm also going to break out those. Yeah. We're building another bookshelf with chiseled bookshelves, and I'm using spruce trap doors just to make it a little bit like, I don't know, like cute, like a little cabinet under it. And then this is gonna be actually like a wall. We'll fix that later. We'll do that in just a second. Okay, now that I have basically like all of the furniture in there, all the walls are built, all the furniture's in there, I'm gonna go and like, if you watch Sims videos, they call it cluttering. We're gonna clutter this Minecraft build. So I'm starting by putting like just like around any like corner or space where it's like, yeah, a little tree could fit there. I'm putting a little tree there. That's how I decided. This is really like up to you. This part is very much up to you. Well, the whole build is up to you. I'm not like your mom, but like you can just do whatever you want. I'm just cluttering it up, making it look messy, making it look lived in, full of life. Then I'm doing the carpets, and because this is the first floor, we're gonna just put lights in the floor, and then cover it with the carpet of our choosing. I chose moss because the building's made of moss, and so it's green. And I'm putting frog lights underneath, but as I said before, you can literally use any light. You could literally use a bunch of torches. Then for this table, see, we're finally getting back to the table runner. I'm putting frog lights in the center and moss carpets on top of that. And then on the two outside ones, I'm putting moss blocks so it looks like the table runner continues, but then I can put pots and cherry saplings in it. Then I'm just adding like literally just like pots, and I'm using cherry saplings, azalea bushes, and white tulips just to clutter. Like those are the flowers I'm using, just because you could really use whatever flowers you want. I don't care. Candles, I'm just using the base candle. You don't even have to add candles. I just think candles are cute, so I'm putting them anywhere. Like I'm just putting them wherever I feel like it. Like this is not, you can just put them wherever you want. Just cluttering it up, putting on every shelf, every bookshelf, doing the moss carpets. Okay, I'm making this little light fixture above the table. So the 4 stair blocks on the table, I'm just putting frog lights. Then I'm just putting upside down stairs next to the frog lights, and I'm putting trapdoors on the short side, and then I'm putting trapdoors on the bottom, just to like make this room look more light. So then I'm just adding these little like hanging plants, you know, like people love to hang succulents. We're hanging plants in Minecraft. That's what I'm doing. Wherever I think we need some more hanging plants, that's where it's going. Here's where I noticed the table is wrong and the whole dining room is off center. You see my little character back up and he's like, whoa, what happened? I'm like, this is not lining up. Something's wrong. And then we break everything and we fix it, and it's sad, but it's okay. Then I'm literally just putting these hanging plants anywhere, like everywhere and everywhere, because I think they're very cute. And you could use the flowering azalea, bushes and leaves and stuff. The reason I didn't use the flowering azalea is just because I think this build's already so pink on the inside that my goal with every single block I placed was to try to make it look less pink. I'm not a pink hater. I just think we had a bunch of pink going on. We needed some green, we needed some purple, we need something else, white, like anything else to counteract the pink. That's our goal, was to counteract pink. I'm just putting these hanging plants everywhere, lighting all the candles. Then I'm putting books in all the bookcases. You could leave them blank if you don't have books, or you can do whatever you want. You could fill them all in, I don't even care. I'm just placing it random. And then once I have all of that, we get a little bit silly. We're getting a little bit silly here. I'm placing leaves on the ceiling, because like there's vines all over the outside. It's like overgrown. The walls are made of moss and trees. Like we are making this place look, it literally looks like poison ivy would live here. This is like, we're putting plants everywhere, we're putting leaves everywhere, we're hanging them down, I'm putting them random. There is no thought process when I place these leaves. I'm just placing them everywhere. And then we're adding another lighted carpet under the kitchen, just to make sure the kitchen's all nice and bright. And then there's also another one that I add in the room with the stairs, but I don't think I recorded that. I think I did that in between recordings when I noticed I forgot to add it. But there's also a carpet in there. Once I have this, we are moving up to the second floor. And I really didn't want to do this, but I'm actually going to split this into 2 parts again. I'm so sorry, but this build is just so big and there's so much content I want to put into it. The next part will cover the second story and the attic, and it will be out next week. Thank you all so much for the love and support on these videos. I appreciate you guys so much. And please don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video and you're excited to see the end.